Hello and welcome to this pre-QRCA event interview. It's fantastic to be joined today by Jay Zaltzman. Jay, thank you so much for joining me today. Can you first of all tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, thanks for having me. And I am co-chairing this year's QRCA annual conference in New Orleans. I've been a QRCA member for a really long time, like I think 18 years or so, and I'm a member of the Southern California chapter. I'm based in Palm Springs, outside Los Angeles, California.
Great. Now, obviously, you're here today to talk to me about the overall conference experience and what we can expect in the QRCA New Orleans. And we were speaking briefly just last week, and you tell me that we can expect a really friendly atmosphere here at these kind of conferences. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, of course, those who have been to the conference will know about this already, but I believe people that come for the first time are surprised at how friendly and welcoming people are. Unlike I've been to other conferences where I go as a researcher sometimes to conduct research for other associations, and it's very different, perhaps because we're all qualitative researchers. Everyone's very warm, friendly, and welcoming. In fact, what happens is, if you're coming for the first time, along with your conference badge, you get a ribbon on the bottom that says that you're a first-timer. And some people are worried that that might kind of brand them as being, I don't know, that they won't be treated as well or something like that. And it's actually the exact opposite. People make a real effort to interact with and draw out the first-timers because they figure, well, they don't know anyone yet, so they talk to them more. So if you are coming for the first time, I quite recommend making sure that you get that ribbon and put it on your badge.
Thanks for telling me, because that will be me. So I'm interested to see how that will go down. And also, you mentioned this really kind of unique, well, I thought was very unique idea of the program speed dating. So can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yes, and that relates to the first-timer thing that I was mentioning just now, where we ask people in advance to indicate on the registration if they're a first-timer or not. And we have a first-timer program where we pair each first-timer with what we call an ambassador, someone who's been in the past. So they get to contact them in advance, make sure they know someone, have someone to show them around. But what we've done, we started doing this a couple of years ago. We have this first-timer event at the very beginning of the conference. And during that time, we have all the first-timers and all the ambassadors get together, and we do a kind of speed dating thing where people spend, like, I don't know, 3 minutes and then, move one, and each first-timer gets to meet quite a few ambassadors that way. And this is like the very opening of the conference. So after that, they'll already know, 10, 15 people just starting out. So we found it's a great way, and it's also fun. It's quite energetic because, it's hard to get qualitative researchers to stop talking, so we have to ring the bell and push them along so they can go on to the next person in the speed dating. It's very amusing.
Yeah, it sounds like a really great idea. It's something I haven't come across before actually either. So very much look forward to that as well. And also, you were going to tell us today as well a little bit about how, for a first timer again, or perhaps for those who've been before, not to be overwhelmed by this conference and how to really make the best out of it. So for you, an experienced guy like yourself, I'd like to know your thoughts on that.
Yes, thanks. That's been something that I've been kind of wrestling with over the years because I find that it's such a whirlwind when I go. And I realized, kind of thinking about it in retrospect, that part of the issue is that, when reading the conference materials, you would think, okay, well, here are the educational sessions. Here's where I'm going to learn things, and that's what I'm going to plan. And you get to choose, by the way, there's typically 3 sessions, 3 options within each time slot that you choose from. But what I realized is that the reason why you feel so overwhelmed is that there are other things going on. You're meeting new people who, in many cases, have lots of interesting things to tell you. The interaction is very helpful when you hear how colleagues are doing things. And you end up learning things during there are dine-arounds on Wednesday evening and Friday evening where people just go out to restaurants on their own in small groups. And I found that other than having a good time and making friends, I've also learned a lot during those social interactions. There are also a lot of other social interactions, such as there's a cocktail party on Wednesday evening, and then our big party on Thursday, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then in addition to that, we have these round table discussions, which are another type of session. Instead of just an educational session, it's where we have a lot of different topics and roundtables, as the name implies, and people get together. Basically, they just choose a topic of interest, sit down at that table, and just have an informal discussion with people on a topic of interest, which I've also found to be really giving me a lot of value. But so when you have all of those different things, all those different opportunities to learn stuff, it tends to be a bit much. I've really started to make an effort to come perhaps the day before and stay a day later, just to kind of orient myself, have time also to enjoy the city, especially New Orleans. And I really do recommend that, to consider people, if they do decide to come the day before the conference starts on Tuesday. There's also an early arrivals dinner, so it's a way to meet people and have fun on the Tuesday. And then I think it's a good idea to leave no earlier than Saturday. Sometimes people like to try to get a flight out on Friday afternoon, and it's a shame if you end up missing a few of the last sessions and that Friday evening dine around, because once again, there's actually a lot of value there and a lot of fun. So it's best to stay till Saturday if you can.
Okay, so key tips: throw yourself into the social side of the conference, and basically come for as long as possible.
Yeah, I think so. You summarized it beautifully.
Okay, Jay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. There's some great tips there, and very much for first-timers like myself, you've given me something really much to look forward to. So thank you very much. And look forward to seeing you in New Orleans, of course, as well.
Same here. Thanks. See you then.
Thanks, Jay.
Bye-bye.